This is the ultimate spooky empire program, and today are the
Theme this time around. Ha-ha!
Very nice, very nice.
Check it out. We are live. Good Wednesday evening. We decided we were going to do tonight instead of Thursday night as usual because Star Wars Celebration is in town. And those of you venturing out to Star Wars Celebration, good luck. You're going to be hearing a lot this weekend. Mark my words. For Mark Hamill's autograph, oh my God, you're going to be in line like 4 hours and you're going to be fighting people and it's going to be pandemonium. We're going to be sitting here with the popcorn. All right, the usual applies. Let's see, subscribe to the channel, and our spooky disclaimer. Number one, we are not Spooky Empire staff. All official information comes from spookyempire.com, which I'll put somewhere. The opinions held here are by longtime seasoned veterans and not necessarily by spooky staff, so please do not hold Spooky Empire staff for the shit that you hear tonight. And guess what? We're not family friendly. At your own risk. And tonight, the bitches, all female cast. It's boobs and badge represent, as Harriet said. Yeah, we've got Robbie with us. Ooh, I saw a little jiggle there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that kind of show. Okay. This again.
Hi.
What's that poster behind you, by the way?
Oh, my 28 days later.
Yeah.
That
If
is
I ever get to meet Danny Boyle, that is what he will sign for me.
That's amazing.
Because he's the director. He directed that, and he directed Trainspotting, and he had the balls to shut down London at 5 a.m. in the morning so no one could drive.
Amazing.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
All right, now the first thing we want to get into tonight, and I'm sure again we are all lamenting because there was a cancellation, a guest cancellation. Owen Mackin, who was in the Resident Evil series. Personally, I wasn't a fan of the Resident Evil series, but he canceled. He's not there. We do have guest announcements, but we'll get to those in a few minutes. Some of you have seen. Let's see. Oh, and here's an interesting topic that we wanted to discuss. Very often, there's a lot of requests that come into Spooky Empire for guest requests. One that they get asked for a lot because he's on the con circuit now is Tim Curry. He recently did a convention. Oh, I want to say, God, where was it? In Canada? I think it was Fan Expo Canada. I don't really recall, but no, my mistake, Dallas. It was in Dallas. Some photos came in from that. Some of you may be aware, Tim Curry had a stroke. I want to say, Harriet, was it last year?
It's been a couple years. Yeah, since he had a stroke.
He did. He had a pretty massive stroke, and while he's recovered, very well, all things considered, and a lot of you have seen him on that Halloween episode that was on TV of Rocky Horror Picture Show, of which we will not speak. He played the narrator, and he's doing well, all things considered. But when you see these photos, personally, I know Tim Curry is going to be at MegaCon. A lot of people have been asking for him at Spooky Empire. While the man is an absolute legend, I mean, Lord of Darkness, hello. He's just, that's not how I want to remember Tim. Tim physically is not looking so well. And from what I understand, he can't sign autographs. He's not able to communicate really well. And the pictures just kind of look like you took your grandpa out of the nursing home and forced him in an Olin Mills photo. It just, I mean, I'm going to turn over this to Robbie and Harriet to see what they think, but I think there's a certain point where you stop asking for guests. Granted, I know the guy is a god. I'm a huge fan of Tim Curry, where I draw the line and it's like, okay, I love the man. I would love to meet him, but I can't have my memory be that picture standing next to him in a wheelchair where he's barely coherent.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, Harriet, what do you think?
It does kind of smack of exploitation. I've seen the pictures and what you posted, and it was just very disturbing to me. and I felt the same way. I was just kind of like, you know, that's not how I want to remember him. I want to remember him as evil in Legend, or I always want to remember him as Pennywise, or, you know, of course, as Frankenfurter. I mean, you know, the sassy. I can only imagine the comments that would come out of his mouth if you were talking to him and taking pictures with him when he was healthy. But now, you know, you could kind of see it in his eyes. He did want people to be there. And from what I understand, he was very nice to people, and they were trying to make him take breaks. And he didn't want to. He wanted to meet as many fans as possible. You know, the spirit is there, but it's just not in him physically to do it anymore. And that's, you know, it is sad. And I don't want to remember him that way.
Yeah, so it's like, it's at that point you wonder, it's like, okay, so where do you draw the line? Where does it become exploitation as opposed to, you know, it's a fine line. And
I don't know. I think what devil's advocate here, but what if maybe he knows that, you know, he's not doing so great, and maybe he wanted to do this one last thing for his fans, and you know, to go out there and meet some people. I mean, because I know that the convention circuit thing is something that's popular now, but, you know, back when he was healthy, it wasn't something that he was doing, I'm assuming. So, you know, maybe now it's like, oh shit, now I can actually go and meet my fans, and, you know, maybe it's kind of time to do it before it's too late for him. You know, I mean, if it's true that he did enjoy it and that he was nice to people, and, you know, of course.
I'm hearing a bunch of different reports from both sides, so I'm not sure necessarily what to believe. I got friends that are going to MegaCon that are going to shell out the $100 or whatever to take a picture with them, and good on them. And if they have a great experience, then vaya con Dios. Seriously, I do it.
No, I think I think he's still very sane of mind. I think, you know, he's there. He is competent. And you know, you kind of wonder, is like, does he need the money? Is he doing this for money? Is he wanting to meet the fans, etc.? You know, and it's just at this time in his life, he's just, you know, since he's had a stroke, he's not physically capable to do a whole lot. So, you know, you're kind of excited for him, but it's still a very sad situation. When you see those pictures, it's like you said, it's taking your grandpa out and just saying, you know, here we are, and da-da-da.
Here, let's take the Walmart photo. And
right, yeah, it's just, it's to me, it's not how I want to remember my idols. It was very uncomfortable to me to see those pictures. So for sure,
that's the perfect way to put it. It seemed very uncomfortable. These professional celebrity taken photos. You see these happy, smiling fans, and then you see poor Tim. And no disrespect to Tim whatsoever, so hot, you know. And that's not. I have an autograph wall of you know, and some of you have seen. I've got a huge wall of fame, and when I look at that. Every time I look at one of those pictures, I have a memory. I have a story. I have something great that I can take with me and I can keep close to my heart when I'm older. A picture with Tim like that, that's not. I'd love to meet him. I'd love to get an autograph, but that's not.
Yeah, especially since
that's not.
It's a photo op. I mean, you're just there, you click it, and then you're next, and it's, you know.
It's not even an experience, really. Exactly.
Right. And my feelings on photo ops are very, very well known. I'm very anti-photo op. I have said, even if they brought back Christopher Lee from the dead and traipsed him into a photo op, I would not take the picture. So I am very anti-photo op, because that's all you get. You trace him in there, click, you're done. And you've paid $75, $100 for that millisecond of standing next to Stan Lee or Tim Curry.
And you get the same carbon copy picture as everybody else. You could Photoshop yourself into one of them. There's something very stock.
And it also might get stolen because they put it out on the table for everyone to see.
It's happened. But yeah, I mean,
is that the good thing about Spooky is that in Spooky you don't have that cattle call always.
No.
So a lot of the times when you go, you meet your guests, you can have that experience. You can, you know, versus other conventions that they might be at, that it is that cattle call with the photo ops and things. You know, you can go back to the table and it's easy and, you know, whatever. So you wait in line for 10 minutes to meet Elvira, but dude, you can sit there and talk to her about, you know, her projects and all these great things. So.
Yeah. I mean, and one of the things I will absolutely say, and, you know, Robbie knows this, the volunteer staff, the Spooky staff, they're not there with cattle prods to push everybody through, you know, when you take these. I mean, and there's only been a couple of times that I've actually done these photo ops because unfortunately sometimes some of these celebrities only do the photo ops and they won't do it at their table. There's usually one per show. And for some reason, but from what I understand, the Purple Wizard, this DJ from New York, he's the only one that's doing just Froggy photos.
Weird. Okay.
I no idea who the guy is, but maybe he's got a big following that I'm unaware of. That's quite possible. But when I met Alice Cooper, last retro, as a matter of fact, you know, I take those few minutes, and it's I want a story, and that's my whole thing. It's you know, meeting them is great, but oh no, okay, I'm still there. Okay, good. Camera was freezing, but I had the bunny outfit on. I got pulled into the group photo with a bunch of friends, and I had the squeakers. Some of you remember the squeakers. So, you know, I went up to Alice. I said, Mr. Cooper, you've been a hero of mine for a long time, and I just have one thing I want to say. And I just went, squeak! And the look on his face was beyond priceless. I found out in January, this was like a month after the convention, but I found out from a friend, he actually came looking for me later. He's like, does anyone know where the bunny with the squeaky boobs is?
The bunny with the squeaky boobs.
Nice.
It's
Memorable.
Like Demi, aka the bunny with the squeaky boobs.
Squeaky. Yeah, I gotta find my squeakers, speaking of which. No, that's not inviting trouble. But speaking of guests like this, though, one of the other things, and speaking of Star Wars Celebration, that's going to be an absolute monster. I did want to bring up Monster Palooza because there's kind of some horror convention drama going out on the West Coast. Monster Palooza, for those of you that don't know, is usually very heavy on special effects. You see a lot of the face-off people there, a lot of great, just Stan Winston's school is out there, all these amazing, amazing creatures, and you see a lot of this fantastic, just gory artwork. They started adding guests, and they had Robert Englund, who is also someone who has been to Spooky a number of times, and every year everyone keeps asking for him back. Warning against, you know, Tim Curry, cautioning, not warning, cautioning against Tim Curry. I'd like to caution against Robert Englund, only because, and this is my theory, the prices for the autographs have been jacked up exponentially, not just by increments, but I mean a huge, huge jump, a huge jump.
Huge.
Looking to diminish lines, but I think it kind of backfires. At Monster Palooza, I watched as the fire marshal had to shut the con down because it was too crowded. There were 4-hour lines for Robert Englund, and for a picture and autograph, he was charging from $160 to $180.
Jesus. What?
Yep.
I think the first year he was at Spooky and I met him, I wanted to say I paid like $30.
$30.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he, you know, you get the autograph, and he was taking pictures at his table. And yeah, I mean, people were lined up around the block, but I think it was the first time that he's been there. But every year that he comes back, that continues to draw. You know, because a lot of people still haven't met him for whatever reason. I mean, but people do.
I've been to Spooky like 6 times. I don't get it, but hey, no judging.
Yeah. So you know, I get it. He's a horror icon. But I think that speaks as a general rule how the con culture has exploded and how people are taking advantage of it. I don't necessarily think it's the celebrities. I think it's the management.
It's very greedy management, yes.
Yeah. So I just, it's unfortunate, and I know that there's a particular TV show that has a lot to do with it. So you know, but. It's this is the reason we go to Spooky, is because it's, you know, not necessarily for the celebrities, but for the family and the friends, etc. But it's just unfortunate that we see these, you know, like I said, just a few years ago, I paid $30-40 for whatever, it's hanging on my wall. And now
Glory out of it.
Yeah, and he was great. He wasn't in makeup. He was doing the laugh. He was doing the Freddy laugh, and the kids loved it. Which was
you get to meet him, hands down. He's very personable with the fans. He takes time with every single one of the fans. He's a great guy. You know, I met him right before I had my hysterectomy, and he had the claws like going into my stomach, and it was epic. You know, so. But charging $160 to $180 and 4-hour lines. I think the one thing, and I really hope those of you that are newer to convention culture and those of you that have just recently started going to Spooky, plan for the worst. And I hope this really teaches you, because honestly, your experience at a convention is your responsibility. And there is no stronger rhetoric I can give you than that. Order your tickets online, money aside for certain things. This is all in your hands. If you go on a Saturday and see a 4-hour line, that's your fault. Straight up.
I'm curious about the people who are going to Celebration just to meet Mark Hamill, and who maybe have never been to a convention before and don't know what to expect. That's what I'm afraid of, because these people are going to run into this mob of people.
Yeah, mob of people.
You know, I've seen some comments on their page saying, oh, you know, well, I've paid the admission, I have to pay to get an autograph and a picture too. And it's like, you know, some people have never
been.
Yeah, and they just absolutely don't know. And I feel really bad for these people, because, you know, everybody wants to meet, you know, my God, it's Mark Hamill, it's Luke Skywalker. If there's anybody to meet at Star Wars, it's him or Darth Vader. But, you know, if they've never been, and then they go in, they've paid their $50, $75 for Saturday only, and then it's another $250 for just an autograph, and they're not going to get a picture out of it. Their idea of going to a convention is shattered, and I really don't want that. I feel really bad for some people.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that things have evolved where these big conventions now, unfortunately, what happens, they become very much like San Diego, that was the comment you were making before. The Orlando Convention Center for Saturday for Star Wars Celebration has sold out. That the entire convention is taking up halls A through F, so that's the entire side of the convention center. It's going to be massive, and it's all sold out. You're going to be in I-4 for at least 2 or 3 hours in traffic. You're going to be in line, even if you got your ticket, to get in, and you're going to take a couple hours in line. Then the hour, or I don't know, 2, 3 hours, you're going to be in line for Mark Hamill. To do anything else, your entire day is going to be spent in lines.
Yeah.
And I was reminded earlier, oh, well, San Diego's been doing it for years. And to my knowledge, has never been sold out before. Out where the entire side has been sold out. I may be mistaken, but I don't remember that.
What about MegaCon? Does MegaCon sell it out?
Not that many halls.
MegaCon never caps their tickets.
And I don't think they take up the whole thing. I don't think they take up all halls.
They have like 2 or 3 halls. That's it.
Yeah, this is all the halls, A through F.
I can't even, like, that's like mind blowing.
Yeah.
This is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if nothing else, I hope you guys learn from these experiences, and you watch these other cons, and you learn from the mistakes that other people make with these other conventions, so you don't experience it the Spooky. Now, granted, Spooky isn't going to be a massive madhouse. Retro is more of an intimate setting where you actually get to spend time with people, you get to spend time with the celebrities, you know. And as we said in the last podcast, if you're going just for a celebrity appointment, you know, they say never meet your heroes. Go for like the awesome exhibits. Go for the makeup the makeup demos. Go for the people that are there. Go for the parties. The celebrities. There's so much more in an inclusive, you know, atmosphere. So, but yeah, so there we go. So drama with other conventions, and Robert Englund and Tim Curry charging through the nose now. So I don't know how these people are affording this stuff, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I
mean, Mark Hamill's charging $250 for an autograph, and then another $200 for a ticket.
Yeah, that's insane. And there was somebody commenting from Australia. They were like, oh, we're coming in from Australia. I mean, I get it. This is Star Wars Celebration. This is like their Super Bowl, because it's, you know, it's at different locations every year.
Oh yeah.
So
it does move
this
around.
is like,
yes.
This is like WrestleMania for them, or like I said, the Super Bowl, or the Indianapolis 500, or whatever. This is the one to go to for the Star Wars fans. But, you know, this person who's coming in from Australia and bringing his son, I think they were talking about, you know, it's like, oh, I can't wait to see so-and-so and meet, you know, Mark Hamill and meet Kathleen Kennedy, et cetera, which I would like to meet Kathleen Kennedy, but I'm not going to go to Star Wars Celebration to do so. But, I just, you know, I'm really hoping that they get to do what they want to do and meet who they want to meet, because otherwise it's going to be
very disappointing. You're right.
Yeah, and I don't want them to come to Orlando and have a bad time, because You know, I mean, we've seen some negative comments from last year's MegaCon, you know, and I
we all remember Norman Reedus and that cluster, what happened at MegaCon. That became a complete disaster.
yeah, and the whole VIP ticket. Are you VIP? Are you not VIP? And then you're not getting,
Oh, the levels,
yeah,
the platinum VIP.
and you're not
versus
getting
the-
your perks. And he asked for their money back, and the guy who was they apparently said, he's like, well, you can get a refund or go home. And I thought, well, that's real encouraging.
Yeah, they were pretty much very United Airways about the whole thing.
Oh my God.
I had to work in the reference.
How very reverent of you.
I know it's been run into the ground, but anyway. All right. Another thing that we wanted to talk about is we wanted to discuss a couple of the vendors. There's two that we wanted to bring up tonight. There's one that we just posted on the page, and if you haven't visited the page, I'll put the link. But facebook.com/13x studios. Now, this is someone who's been coming to Spooky for a while, and he's vending this year. He's starting custom. So you can get John Wayne Gacy, you can get the Punisher, you can get Deadpool, you can get Captain Spaulding. I mean, you name it, a hockey mask. So far, pretty damn cool. And with everybody doing mashup costumes nowadays, first of all, I think it's brilliant. And second of all, especially for all the slasher fans that are at Spooky, I think it would be great to have like a collection on your wall of like all your favorite characters, which is all these, you know, horror hockey masks of or
Yeah, Jason and Freddy and Jigsaw. Yeah, absolutely.
Jigsaw. Oh. Next Studios. If you go to our page, you will see a link there. They have some exclusives that they're doing for Spooky vending. I hope you guys really show them some love, because this is the really cool stuff that we're talking about that you really can't see at any other convention. And the other one is one that we want to geek out because we are women and we do have vaginas, but Ravens and Rockers. Oh my God. And these guys get overlooked every year. They're this amazing goth alternative outlet in Tampa. And I mean, Robbie was just talking about it, as a matter of fact.
I was there this past weekend and I got this beautiful bat necklace. You can't really see it.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah. So pretty.
I love it. Dude, totally affordable too. It was only $20.
dude.
Yeah, so.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think we posted something on their page because I know they showed a couple of things, and Old Goth in me wants one of those goth parasols, those Victorian parasols. And as we all know, just tries to eat your brain.
Yes.
And it just wants to take like a Tropicana orange, just stick a right in your head, and just wants to suck your brain out.
Suck your soul out.
It's true, though. I mean, it's the sun is run by the Taliban. Do you guys not know this? That's all they want to do. They stick a straw in your head and just, I mean, you ever wonder why you feel drained while you're in the sun for a while? That's why. But but Raven and Rockers, they had this gorgeous, gorgeous parasol that I'm dying to have, and there's some of the amazing purses that I've seen. So those of you goth chicks, and I know 90% of the chicks that go to this thing are all goth chicks.
Oh, yeah.
We have on our page, look at Raven and Rockers, start putting your pennies away, because straight there, and I'm taking everything.
It's mine. It's all mine.
Raven and Rockers is absolutely amazing. Up again. Am I freezing up? Okay, there we go. Freezing up for a minute there. I don't know why. All right, let's see. Okay, guest announcements. And if those of you that have not seen, and now Owen Mackin may have canceled, we have two. What? Yeah, we have two that have not been to Spooky before. C. Thomas Howell and Ralph Macchio.
Yay!
Outsiders, my childhood. And there was someone last night, like, C. Thomas Howell, it's like, oh, how's he horror? Have you not seen The Hitcher?
Yeah.
Movie.
Yeah, and
shut up about the remake.
and Spooky and retro is not necessarily all about horror either. I mean, it is, you know, it is retro, and that's why, You know, they're talking about doing.
It includes everything else, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're having like an outsiders panel on Saturday, so I'm very excited about that. Yeah,
that was like a coming of age movie.
Yeah. So, and I love C. Thomas Howell and Southland. That was one of the TV shows that came out that I absolutely loved, and it went away and it came back because different channels were fighting over it. But I really, really enjoyed that show, and he was on there, and I was like, oh, it's so good to see him doing stuff again. I mean, you know, you miss them when you don't see them. You know.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
Someone had mentioned that C. Thomas Howell, and I don't remember what it was. I saw a comment somewhere that he's starting to really resemble Negan from Walking Dead. I'm like, wow, I can see it.
I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
That's really cool though. No, C. Thomas Howell. I mean, honestly, I got to be honest. I got to ask him about Soul Man. You can't show Soul Man nowadays.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that a little delicately, though. I think. I don't know. Maybe he's. And see, that's just it. I'm kind of like wondering. I think he can just go like, hey, I'm gonna ask you about Soul Man. You know.
I'm curious. I mean, because everything has become so much more PC since then. Back about it since then. I mean, in the 80s, you could do stuff like that. You can't do that now.
Well,
so I'm wondering if
different now. It's not like it's a new role that he did.
True.
I'm curious. I don't know. I don't know if people bring it up to him and if he's gotten, you know, a bunch of shit over it, but that's what I'm curious to know. I mean, you know, there was a comment that was made that that guy never ages. He still looks the same.
Yeah.
That portrait in the attic, apparently, because he really looks exactly the same.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. But to my knowledge, they were both, because I was going to check with one of our sponsors to see if they could get us some quick updates on pricing. But now that I found out who they are, I did see them at Shock Pop. I think it was like a one-year thing. It was Shock Pop Comic-Con down at Fort Lauderdale, I want to say 2 years ago. They were both charging, and they were taking pictures at their table, I want to say 40 to 50. So
for Ralph Macchio and C. Thomas Howell?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's doable.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's average. So, I mean, the low end is usually about 30, but yeah, they're doing about 40 to 50.
Yeah.
And they might do a dual stuff, but both of them seemed really, really nice. They were really interactive with the fans. They weren't just kind of like off on their cell phone or whatever. So.
Yeah, I'm there. Once they made that announcement, I was like, oh, yay! You know, I have 2 more people I need to meet because, of course, I'm trying to meet. I really want to meet Victoria Price. And,
oh God, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, and then of course Shannon Purser, who played Barb on Stranger Things.
Yes. Speaking of which,
yay!
I'm one of the few with that shirt. I love this shirt.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not a whole, it's not like a ton of guests that I'm looking forward to meeting, but you know, with Retro, it's a smaller con. That's why I'm kind of,
yeah. You know, and you get to spend time with these people because there's not going to be like 8-hour lines for these people.
Right. Yeah. Spooky is kind of like, it's like the beginner spooky. I mean, if you've never been to a con and you want to make spooky your first, I suggest going to Retro, the spring show, first, because if you dive right in and you come to the October show, you may be overwhelmed, and like Demi says, you may not get your one-on-one with the particular celeb, or get the time that you want with your friends or meeting new people. So I'm all excited about that. When they announced them, I was like, yay! So very excited.
Like I said before, Dee Snider was the big panel that I was looking forward. Because I want to know about, because the guy has had feuds with everybody, and so I want some dirt on he's had. I mean, not Tipper Gore and Al Gore, none of that nonsense, but I'm like, I know there's going to be something really wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I just got news that Horror and Sons, who is one of our sponsors, I'll put the link up there, C. Thomas Howell and Ralph Macchio are 40 for both.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, plug that in. So if you want to meet them, they're absolutely fantastic. Ralph Macchio, from what I hear, is a flirt too. So.
Oh yeah.
Huh? I don't think he whips it out though.
Oh.
I know. So that for that alone, Ralph, you're fired. If you don't whip it out, you're fired.
Damn it. Well, maybe we can get him drunk by the pool. There's always that.
It's a solid plan.
Done.
Messages from our other bitch who may or may not make it. We shall see. I just sent her the link, so hopefully our fourth co-host will be joining us. But when it comes to C. Thomas Howell and Ralph Macchio and all these great things that you're going to see, one of the things I do want to encourage everyone to do, the Spooky Empire Ticket Exchange. There are about, I want to say, a half a dozen tickets that are left, weekend tickets, Friday tickets, Saturday tickets, that are at a discount, because these are the people that were left stranded by Hurricane Matthew. Some of us remember that whole debacle last year. The October tickets and December tickets are still being honored at April. So if you have one of those tickets, yes, you can come to the show and just show your ticket. It's not a problem. If you want to buy a ticket and are a little strapped on cash, and bought my tickets group, and I also bought tickets for April in this group, and it's completely legit. It's not a scam. If you look up Spooky Empire Tickets Exchange on Facebook, look at the for sale section, there's at least half a dozen sold at a discount. So if you want to help some people out and help them recoup their money since they're not able to make the con, you get a discount, everybody wins. So I hope you guys definitely consider that. Okay. And actually, this is a good one. We were going to talk about the schedule in a minute, but before we talk about the schedule, there's something that's we're doing, and it's not officially sanctioned, by the way, Harriet? Or is this just a Thursday night thing?
It's just kind of a Thursday night thing. I don't know what you mean by officially sanctioned. I mean,
I didn't know if PDN knew about it, or if it was just something that the friends were doing, or...
I'm assuming he knows about it. There is an actual event. There is a Facebook event.
Okay, I'm going to hand it over to you and tell people all about Pillowlando.
Yeah, it's a quick history. 2011, there was an event called Pillowlando that was put on in Orlando by a guy named Brian Feldman. He used to do a lot of these different events. And I went completely by myself to check it out, and I fell in love with it. It was complete strangers beating each other over the head with a pillow for an hour. Really can't beat them with a stick.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and everybody was having fun and laughing, and there was no drama. You didn't have to talk. I mean, it was great. And
that's beautiful. Just hit people with pillows and have violence and no talking. I'm on.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it was. It was a flash mob. I mean, he did other things like that too. He did like a silent rave where everybody was wearing headphones and dancing to their own music, but everybody was dancing together.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, some things like that he would do, and so I was kind of
I would see that information down here. So yeah.
But it never was in the same spot, and sometimes it was happening, and sometimes it wasn't. And I said, you know what? I need to make this a part of my life. I want this. I want to go to this every year. So I created the Pillowlando page, and the first inaugural year was last year, and we did have it on April 1st. It's part of International Pillow Fight Day. It takes place in
that's a thing.
That is a thing. It's in London. It's in
you can see them like literally all over the world doing this sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's huge groups of people. And I was like, well, Orlando is an international city, and we need to have a pillow fight day. We need to be a part of that. So I've been trying to, get the word out. Dina's been helping me. She helped me out this year, and she came, and we all had, the pillow fight. It was great. It was a lot of fun. Well, she put it to me and said about having it at Spooky, and I was like, sure, yeah, why not? Well, next thing I know, I'm the host. I'm the host of Pillowlando.
That means you're a big target.
Yeah, great. Yeah, well, during Pillowlando, somebody said, get the chick with the red hair. And I had no idea who they were talking about. Because I was looking around, I was like, where's the chick with the red hair? And next thing I knew, everybody was hitting me. So I was like, forget it.
You got gangbanged by pillows, huh?
Right. So Thursday night, the diehards were there, and the people who were coming to beat the traffic. We're having Spooky Empire Retro Pillowlando Thursday night at 9:30. It's going to be on the lawn coming into the pool. There's a central lawn before you get to the big pool, and you can't miss it. It's kind of like walking on the White House lawn.
Look for all the people with the pillows.
Yeah. And we do ask that you bring your own pillows, because if you're staying at the hotel, I know, but if you're staying at the hotel, we don't want you to use their pillows, because something would happen to them.
Pillows anyway, but okay.
Right. So, we can't have Spooky responsible for broken pillows, etc. We do ask that they be feather free and brick free. So there's that. So please, don't bring.
Can I fill it with quarters?
Yeah, no.
Damn
Sorry. I hate to rain on your parade. But,
Yeah,
if you want to come in costume, if you want to come in pajamas, if you want to spookify.
I'm coming in pajamas.
Yeah, if you want to spookify your pillowcase, that's great. The more the merrier. And, it's just kind of a kickoff. It's not, not necessarily an official event, not like the pool parties are official events. But I just, thought, Dina put it to me. I said, yeah, it'd be a great idea. And next thing I know, I'm now hosting it. So
that's fantastic. Good.
Yeah.
This sounds like a lot of fun. And this is just shows you what Spooky family is like, because, we do stuff like this. And when we hold events like this, you guys make friends.
Yeah.
Stuff like this, you really do make lasting friendships, because you beat the shit out of other people with pillows. This is kind of the people we are.
It's a great icebreaker.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
icebreaker. Hey, you're cool. Whap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you're going to go up to strangers and you're going to hit them with a pillow, and they're going to hit you back, and it's like, and it doesn't hurt, and you're all of a sudden friends. And it's like, every time I've gone to Pillowlando, this is like the 4th or 5th time I've done it, I add more friends to my Facebook, and it's like, my circle grows, and the contacts grow, and the network grows. And that's, to me, what it was all about, was just making friends. But when it starts, everybody's just kind of like, what do we do? What do we do? And I'm like, well, you hit somebody with a pillow.
Oh, well, I got no problem starting things off.
Yeah. So, 9:30 on the dot, we're going to listen to, my rallying cry is, let's get fluffy. And then there's a whistle, and everybody, let's get fluffy. Yeah. And then go to town.
Yeah, that's terrible. All right.
Yeah. So, if you haven't had a pillow fight since you were a kid, please come out and join us. And
I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of guys like, oh, sexy girl pillow fights.
And then they're going to get hit in the head with a pillow.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I'm gunning for you.
Right. Exactly.
Let me show you sexy pillow fight.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it's funny because, we've had Crouching Tiger, Hidden Pillow, we've had the Gauntlet. Yeah, we had all these crazy pictures that we came up with.
Oh, that's awesome. Like fancy kung fu pillow moves.
Yes. And it's ridiculous, but it's so much fun, and, people laugh and smile, and that's, to me, what it's really all about, especially, if you're having a bad day or if you're having a rough time, this is the time to take it out. And just have fun.
Oh, that's great. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm going to put the information down on the bottom so you guys can definitely check out that. Before we talk about the event schedule, we did want to discuss the tattoo festival, and Robbie is our resident expert on the tattoo contest and the tattoo artists that are showing up, and Everything Inc.
Yes.
Everything Inc. So Robbie, go ahead.
Yes, very exciting. As we know, we've been having the tattoo festival has been part of Spooky Empire for a while already. It's always great. I feel like those two things definitely, they just jive together. It just goes. So this year, like, every other year, we have it. I'm not sure if they're going to have it at the same place. I'm assuming they're going to have it at the same place in the Wyndham as they did the last time we were at Retro. And that's in the hall to the left of the vendor room. So I guess there's at least 50 artists, and Paul Acker's coming, and he is an expert at photorealism and horror. And although I looked up, and he was taking appointments in a weird way. You kind of like pitch him an idea, and he chooses whether or not he wants to go with your idea to be able to tattoo you as Spooky. So if you can't get in to get tattooed, that's fine. You should just definitely go see what he's doing. The guy is a freaking genius. So that's gonna be really cool. Also, they're having contests. They have every day that the convention's going on, they have a tattoo of the day contest that whoever gets tattooed during the convention, they choose a winner out of those tattoos. And then on Saturdays when they have their big contest, which will include black and gray, photorealism, color, and all that good stuff. So definitely, like Dementia said earlier, if you're coming to Spooky, you come to Spooky for everything. Come to Spooky for the tattoo festival, for the vendors, for the celebrities, for your friends. And this goes for the tattoo people too, because I feel like sometimes they kind of segregate themselves in the tattoo area, and it's like, come on, you want to show them everything else that the convention has to offer, because when you're buying a ticket, you're buying a ticket to the whole thing. So it's not like you're buying a ticket just for the tattoo festival, or just for Spooky Empire. It's all in one, and you should definitely check all the aspects out.
So are the tattoo artists going to be in the same room as the vendors?
No, I don't think. No, the last retro, they had them in the hall that was next door to it, and at the convention center they had them all in one room. Yeah. So I don't know what the layout is yet. I'm going to orientation next Thursday, so I guess I'll check it out then.
Because that's what I thought was so cool, is like you would be walking through the vendors and then all of a sudden you're bleeding into the tattoo artists.
Yeah, I think it's really great too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is cool. They're all in the same room. I don't have to, go
out and come back in. Yeah, the thing is that at the Wyndham, it's a smaller space. Mm-hmm. So to be able to fit all the vendors and all the tattoo artists, you can't put them all in one room. So I see why they do that there. So that's why I feel it's important to make sure that everybody kind of, checks everything out.
Yeah, and when I first started going into the tattoo rooms, I was a little nervous because it can be kind of a personal thing, especially if someone's getting a body part tattoo. Yeah. But that you got to think of it as art. These are artists doing their art.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's live performance essentially.
Yeah.
But I feel also, if you're the client and you're getting tattooed at a convention, that it's not you are giving away that, if you wanted to cover yourself up, this is not the place. Right. your back tattooed, it's going to be out. So,
Okay. Yeah, and it's rare that I've seen that happen, but you go in there and you go into the room and you're looking at all the different tattoo artists, and they're more than happy.
Did we freeze up?
They're more than happy to share their ideas and artwork with you. So.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and that's another thing. Not only are they tattoo artists and they're tattooing there, but a lot of them have art to sell. And a lot of them are very, very talented artists, and they have prints and they have other stuff that they have to offer besides just tattooing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an artist I'm trying to look up now on Instagram. It's Madam name.
Oh, yeah.
Madam L, I want to say her name is. Okay, it'll be hard to see, but let me see if I can actually get this on the screen without it looking ridiculous. Does a lot of jeweled work. Let's see if this will focus. Focus. She does a lot of jeweled work. She does a lot of gothic work. If you go on her Instagram, it's Madam L Tattoo. And God, this is just totally not going to focus, is it? But she does like really cool, like goth female designs.
Beautiful.
I mean, as a matter of fact, this is a perfect example. I have like a sticker of her type of designs on the back of my phone. Beautiful stuff like this. Mm-hmm. She's someone who I always watch, and at some point I'm going to get inked by her.
Yeah, and I've met her several times. She's super nice.
Yeah, she does stuff like this.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, and the other one that I recommend, because the only person I let tattoo me is a guy named Todd Grant, who does amazing, like photorealistic stuff.
He's on my list.
Amazing, and I'm trying to find, where is he? And he's doing, and I think this is going to be his first time. He's very, very popular around Orlando. He's always booked up. Ask anybody about Freak.
Freak?
Yes, name's Freak.
Hey.
I don't know. He's a tall guy. He had like really long dreads for a long time. White guy. when you see him, you'll know. But he does a lot of like American classical stuff. He does a lot of, you know, Japanese style, a lot of different styles. But I mean, Freak, everybody loves his stuff. I know at least 4 or 5 people that have his ink. I personally recommend Madame L and Freak. So if you go by their tables, check out their stuff, check out their portfolios. Absolutely fantastic artists.
Also,
So,
I guess Justin Capolino from Tattoos After Dark is going to be there as well. So.
oh, wow.
Nice.
Celebrities.
Yeah, and you don't
Okay,
necessarily have to have an appointment before the con. You can go there, and you can, if they're available, if they have time, you can get your stuff done right then and there, or you can just get their business card and then make appointments with them later. So
that's probably what I'm going to end up doing with, because I haven't decided where I want to do it, but I definitely want something by her, because her stuff is just beyond adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't think the film festival is happening this year. Is that right? Or they're just holding out for October, I guess?
I think
Word about it.
I haven't either.
No, I'm assuming
Okay.
they will because if we're going back to the Hyatt, I think there'll be more space there.
Yeah, it'll probably be October. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. Now, the event schedule is up. What is this? The link? It's spookyempire.com. Hang on 1 second. I should have had this up. Let's see. But it is on the page. The photo op schedule is up. It's spookyempire.com/event. So if you look at the event schedule, it's basically Q&As. Days from Victoria Price to Kane Hodder to Monster Squad to, of course. Now, interesting thing, Noah Shapp, who is, I think that's Will, right?
Yes.
Okay. Will is only going to be there on Sunday.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't realize that before. He's only going to be there on Sunday.
Yeah, I think it was a scheduling issue.
Yeah. Okay. 8 o'clock on Thursday, we have the retro 80s pool party. Friday, let's see, we have the Dia de los Muertos pre-party and processional. Ernie Hudson is doing a Q&A. The Kilted Creature is going to be doing performances. Victoria Price is Q&A. Party and the Prince party, we've already talked about, Party by the Pool, that's going to be happening. Then there's Michael Burnett, who apparently has done a lot of work on Strangeland. He's doing a Q&A at 8. And Tattoo of the Day Award. So Friday's pretty chill. Saturday, we've got Kane Hodder. And then, of course, we've got The Outsiders, which I guess that's what replaced Owen Mackin. Q&A. I'm looking forward to that one. The Q&A with Shannon Purser. Like I said, I get to talk to Barb.
Yay!
My 15-year-old self, I'm excited about that. The Halloween cast, which that is going to be a huge one for a lot of you. 4 o'clock on Saturday. Pencil it in now. The Halloween cast. Everybody from Tyler Maine. Why do I keep saying Taylor Maine? Taylor Dane. That's his fault. Tyler Maine. Dave Furch. Scott Taylor Compton. Christina Klebe. Hannah Hall. All of them are going to be there. They're all going to talk about Halloween. So if you're a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween, make sure to check that out. Is the Zach Galligan Q&A. Then we got a live performance after the tattoo judging by the Kilted Creature. We got Lloyd Kaufman and oh yeah, then we have a live performance by Fretless Rock, who I believe is the violin player.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she was pretty cool actually. I was really surprised.
Yeah, sure.
And then the Rocktail pool party that night. Monday we've got Malcolm McDowell, who's going to start off the day. You want to talk the epitome of British cheeky?
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Absolute spitfire, man. He's messed up in the head. I love him. He's crazy. 12 o'clock is the costume contest prejudging. Then the big one, Joan Cusack at 1 o'clock. That one's going to prove to be very interesting. Let's see, we got Monster Squad at 2, costume contest at 4, and then Tattoo of the Day awards. So there's going to be that. That's going to be really cool. So that is the schedule. And also, if you look at spookyempire.com, I believe, let me have this right. Yeah, spookyempire.com/photo-ops. Find all your photo op information, because all the prices and all the times and all the professional photo ops are up. Personally, the photo ops, if you are going to get, let's say, if you want with Barb and Will from Stranger Things, or if you want Halloween cast, or you know, any duos or anything like that, I personally recommend the group shots or stuff like that. We're doing Zach Galligan, and I didn't realize this until we had the photo ops. Apparently, in the photo ops, is gonna have Gizmo. So if you're a fan of Gremlins, I know, isn't that great?
That's very cool.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna be, yeah, so I was like, so if you get your picture of Zach Galligan, he's got Gizmo there. So I'm like, that's adorable. Like an old Asian man, just. No, I was gonna do that, but that's just gonna be way too racist even for this show. So.
Oh man.
Oh God. But yeah, and check out the photo ops. All the prices are on there. They're all incredibly reasonable. I think even the Halloween cast, where there's like 8 of them, it's like I think like $100, where it's basically $20 a person.
Wow.
So I was really, really surprised on that. So make sure you check that out for the photo ops and you budget for that. Let's see. Here's a good topic.
Yeah.
Since we're all women here, and this is our all-female cast, it's time for us to be bitches. You know, we talk about this all the time, but I think we actually realize that a lot of you guys don't realize, everybody thinks everybody else smells. They don't realize when they're the smelly kid. There's not really a way for sponsors about a possible way to start maybe a movement to kind of clean up the whole con-funk thing, but we perfect timing. Everyone, this is Laura.
I wanted to make a joke, but I can't think of anything.
Oh, I can barely hear you.
Oh crap! Hold on. Okay.
Mike.
You hear me? Am I just like hear me all? Yes, a little bit.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have volume all the way. I have never done Hangout from my phone, so I'm not sure if this is going to work out. But
No, we can totally hear you as long as the rest of us shut up.
okay. Actually, I think I was holding the speaker. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. So
Okay.
what was perfect timing?
Because we're talking about, we got into the whole guys smelling at Spooky and how no one really believes that they're the one that's, see, I told you.
Yeah, I was like, I hope I didn't miss that part.
And it's usually never the women. It's usually like either A, they're severely drunk, or B, they're just the over-exuberant fanboy that don't realize how much they're sweating, and especially, and this is not fat shaming, but the bigger guys, they sweat more.
Well, the thing
And
is,
there's,
I think the costumes don't get washed enough. I think that's actually a problem, because like even me, I don't want to wash my costumes because they're usually like specialty fabrics or something like that. They go to the back of the closet. They like you need to pay attention to the armpits. Like you got to wash.
that's true. That's true. So number one tip, I mean, wash the costumes. And even if you have to hand wash, you can hand wash. There's Febreze, there's powders, and make sure you do this like before the convention. Hanging up there now, and I'm going to be going through and making sure. And
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
think that vodka actually, I guess it's like an old theater trick, is like straight up vodka will work pretty well.
I've heard that.
Yeah, all that stuff. So that's a good one too.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like vodka in a spray bottle, like actually helps.
Mhm.
Yeah, also spray deodorant, I heard somebody said once.
Axe.
No,
No, I will attack anyone that wears Axe.
no, I mean like antiperspirant, you know, like a
Yeah,
secret or something.
antiperspirant. I will physically assault anyone.
Yes.
No act.
Oh my God, it's so friggin' bad. But it's like when you have your costumes, number one, you know, make sure your costume smells good. And here's the thing, you can't just tell soap, put on some deodorant, and go. For your work day, that doesn't work at a convention. There's something, and I've talked about this before, called layering. And I hope you guys really adhere to this. And mouth mints, always have mouth mints. Every half hour, pop one in, man. And God knows what at a con, and con food is nasty.
Oh, yeah.
If there's even a speck of garlic, you're done for, like, all 3 days.
You really are.
You eat a hallway hot dog and you're done for the day.
Yeah.
The hallway hot dog.
Onions. Oh.
Yeah, the gas station food and just, oh my God. So always breath mint.
There's a Wawa right there, no excuse. So
That's true.
Yes, and you're right, and always that. But when you layer, first of all, pick up like real soap, not dollar soap. Invest in some like, I don't know, what do guys use? Irish Spring? I don't
Hey,
Old Spice.
You can get a trial size of Irish Spring for 99 cents. Less than $1. So
that's a good tip for you. Irish Spring, bring your own soap. And so when you shower twice a day. You do that, and then there's all sorts of powders. And then the powders will also help to, especially the ones with cornstarch, they'll help soak up everything, where it's Gold Bond powder. I've always talked about lushusa.com, where they have the silky underwear powder, where it has like jasmine and vanilla and all that stuff. So you want to powder yourself down.
Also,
deodorant. Go ahead.
This might sound kind of weird, but I usually plan my costumes around sweating. Like if you can, I usually like try not to do like long sleeves or like things that are really tight in certain areas where you know that you get extra hot in. So I mean that's kind of a thing too, especially if you like running around outside. But that's a big one for me, is I usually just plan, like, especially like a daytime costume will be different from a nighttime costume at Spooky. Especially like the nighttime, it'll be a little cooler. Everyone's having fun. No one really cares. But yeah, like during the day when you're like in the con side by side, everyone's like a little bit, cooler, I guess. Yeah. So
that's a good tip.
That's true. Just, the day costumes as opposed to night costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's those guys. Yeah. Well, there's those guys that like, they wear the same costume all weekend. And it's like, okay, it's great in theory. It all day, put it in the closet, Febreze it, and be done. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
A steam garment thing with you, they have those at like Walgreens for like $10.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I got one, it was like, I mean, granted it was the as seen on TV stuff, but it gets the job done. You just fill it with water, you steam the garment, I put a little fabric softener in it, and it helps
especially if you're taking part in the zombie walk, and then you're walking around in your zombie walk costume for the rest of the day. That's, no. There's ways around not stinking up the place and not being offensive to your fellow congoers, especially if you're in the vendor room and looking at art and somebody comes by and it's like,
oh God.
It's
happened so many times.
It's there, we know, but there's things you can do, and that's what they're talking about. So yeah, that was my biggest thing, is people going to the zombie walk and then hanging out in their zombie costume all day
after they've been in the sun and 90 degrees and lumbering for half an hour.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that, because after I was done with the zombie walk, it's like I had to get it all off. I had to get the blood, the makeup, the costume. I had to get it all off. It was disgusting.
That's another reason to have more than one costume. You might as well. It's fun. It keeps you cool. You're not wearing the same sweaty thing all day. It's like, why not?
Yep. And just for the record, you male people, the ones of you that have penises that are watching this, if you smell bad in the slightest, it is the biggest turnoff to women.
Big time. Yep. Big time. Yep.
I don't care how hot you are. I don't care what kind of game you're playing. I think we're done.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Spooky is definitely not a hookup con, but you meet a lot of like-minded people, and you might meet someone you really like, and like you don't want that to be the first impression. So you
don't want to be the smelly kid.
No.
And it's, I mean, we don't want to be the person that kind of, and we had discussed this, and it's like, lean over and say, you know, you kind of need to freshen up. But there's really no polite way to do that without offending anyone.
Yeah.
So while we've been discussing that and we're trying to come up with solutions, I really hope everyone that watches this takes this to heart, because everyone thinks it's not them, it's somebody else.
Well, you know, I also, like, I think I even commented about, like, how would we approach this without sounding offensive? And like I said, it's like, I mean, everybody showers, like you said. It's like, we're not saying people don't shower. We're saying take that extra step. You know, make sure the clothes are washed. Like, those are things that even when I first started cosplaying or costuming, like, I didn't think about. And yeah, like you learn your lesson the hard way. The first couple of days you're in the Florida, it's Florida, man. Like, when you're in Florida,
Florida is your enemy. Yeah.
You know, we're not saying everyone like doesn't shower. We're just saying go the extra step. You know, we're not being jerks.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you want to give hugs to your friends and everybody. You know,
oh God, yes.
You know, everybody's friendly. Like,
we'll hug, but if you stink, don't get that stink on me, man.
You know, it's everybody.
That stuff lingers, and especially you bigger guys.
No, I said everybody knows what we look like now, so they're just gonna be like checking themselves before they.
I hope so.
That's what we want.
That's. Here's the thing. It's like I am very close friends with some bigger guys, and I'm not going to name names, but some of them are self-aware, and they realize because they're bigger, they're going to sweat more. Mm-hmm. And if you're sweating, so get some antidepressants for the rest of us. And slip some antiperspirant. And like I said, especially powder yourself down. There are a number of different things you can do, like not to chafe. There's like Body Glide that'll help you not to chafe. Make sure you get in the rolls. And that's not a judgment, because hell, I got rolls.
We all got them.
Yeah, we all got them.
Right here.
Yep. Rolls, like I said, you know, put some powder. And you guys will enjoy this. And ladies, and we've all pretty big.
Oh God!
Under boob sweat. It is the worst.
It's the worst.
It's horrible. It's taken years and years and years to try to deal with it.
We talk about swamp ass. Like, what about swamp tits? It's a thing.
It is a thing.
Like,
swamp tits is a real problem.
Hashtag swamp tits. Hashtag spooky empire. They'll love it.
Yes.
But this is important. This is the things, like I said. And if we think this about ourselves, imagine what we were saying about you guys, especially you fanboys, know how to interact with the opposite sex, into having a conversation with anyone of the opposite sex, smell good.
Yep.
You're going to turn around and walk away, and you're done. But yeah, but lushusa.com, that's how I found silky underwear, the powder, and it just always goes underneath. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So you guys can probably use it in your ass crack.
Can we make this a comment, like the things we've talked about? Like, we can put this on, right? Like, type it up. Okay.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point of this. Yeah.
Okay. Done it.
Okay, but also leads into, and I want to, you know, get everyone's opinion on this. I know Laura said Spooky isn't a hookup con, but let's face it, a lot of couples have met at Spooky.
Yep.
A lot of people have found true love, and a lot of people have just found, you know, their hookups, and that's just what happens now. And, you know, you get alcohol involved, and yeah. So
just don't do it in the pool, because we'll film you and put it everywhere.
Oh, please don't in the pool. Not in the pool, please.
No, in the
Not
pool.
in the pool, please.
I feel like Robbie.
Not in the pool.
Knows something.
Pregnant, and it'll be bad. Not in the pool.
Just not in the pool.
There have been a number of live sex shows at Spooky, and
yeah,
yeah. God. All right, but what would be your tips for the best way to pick up a woman at Spooky?
Oh.
But let me hand this off to Robbie first.
Okay.
Oh, why me?
Well, fine, then I'll go first.
No, it's fine. I honestly, I feel like be yourself. You know, don't try to.
Oh, come on.
No, seriously. No, mean, the lines and all this bullshit, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, just be yourself and try to hatch up a conversation and something interesting and something that, you know, not some like random hey ma shit. I don't know. It's just
Hey ma.
no. You get those shit.
Hey ma.
Hey ma. Yeah, no.
Hey ma. People do that. Hey ma. All right. I'm gonna jump in next because
Yeah.
you know, like be yourself is great, and I don't disagree with her at all. Basically, what she's saying is don't try some cheesy pickup line that you heard on Tinder or Reddit or whatever, because it's like whatever. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Honestly, I think especially if she's wearing a costume or if she's wearing a really cute pinup outfit, compliment her on that. Not that she's pretty, because we hear that all the time. Something that obviously she's taken an interest in, and you can show that you've taken an interest in it as well. Whether it's like she's got a Betty Page look, and you can say, oh, I watched this great documentary on Betty Page. I mean, don't lie. Or if she's wearing, let's say, you know, a Freddy outfit, it's like, oh, which of the Freddys was your favorite? I like this one, da-da-da-da-da. Start up a conversation where you know it's something that, a common interest that you both have. Honestly, I think offering to buy the lady a drink is, you know, thumbs up. And even if she refuses, you know, it's a gentlemanly thing to do. Chivalry is not dead. Don't be drunk. Do it sober. Because then if we think you're hitting on us when you're drunk, that just lowers our opinion of you like time 10,000. Big tip though, it's like if they're wearing a costume or a shirt or a pendant or a dress, something that, you know, sparks a mutual interest about that. So that shows that you're taking an interest in her and taking an interest in anything other than these. Everybody focuses on, hey, you're hot. You know?
True. Yeah, and I do want to add something. It's kind of the same thing, the same vein. We all tend to wear like t-shirts with either the Spooky Empire or our favorite horror thing or our favorite retro thing, whether it be Doctor Who or sci-fi, whatever it happens to be. And if you like that, and again, you can comment on that and say, hey, I like Doctor Who too. Who's your favorite Doctor? Or like the t-shirt that Demi's wearing. It's like, oh, you like Spooky Empire, but that's also the Strange Things logo. Did you watch it? How many times have you watched it? That kind of a thing. It's also, like she said, taking an interest in the things that she's obviously interested in. That is a big deal. And it's also a way to start a conversation. I've had so many conversations with not just guys, but girls too, because a lot of the things that I buy are like classic horror, whether it be Vincent Price or the Universal Monsters. I had a 30-minute conversation with a guy because I bought the Universal Monsters coaster set. And we sat there and had this conversation about, you know, just classic movies, etc. So, you know, whether it's not necessarily a hookup or a pickup, but it could be a new friend or it could be a hookup. You never know.
It's networking. It's networking all the same, regardless of whether you end up hooking up with this person or, you know, there's a lot of people that make friends. They hook up and then they just become friends and then they're friends forever. And, you know, it's just, you get to be this family that we all are.
Yep. Absolutely. So Laura, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, actually. I mean,
what got you?
What?
Hot. What got you?
Oh, for my guy? Well,
yeah.
Sorry, I had like, hold on, let me, like my train of thought, I told you my train of thought today is like out there. Real quick, before I forget, I was just gonna say, one thing I've always thought was really cool at Spooky Empire is when, again, hookup or not, I've always thought it was really awesome when I've met guys who want to know what I look like out of costume. That sounds really bad, but like me normally, like not like, you know, they'd be like, oh, well, you know, like what color is your real hair? Or, you know, or like, you know, compliment me on something that's not part of my costume, like you said earlier. But like I always thought that was kind of cool. Like just, you know, or like the plan to see you later. Like, well, oh, are you going to the pool party? Well, of course. You know, like I'll see you at the pool party, or like I'll see you tomorrow, or, you know, like maybe even like just like what, you know, like on a panel and, you know, stuff like that. Like that's kind of maybe obvious, but I always liked it when they would say like, I was always impressed when they wanted to meet up again if the first meeting was brief, if that makes sense.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was going to mention was if I'm ever meeting a single person, I usually like to meet their friends as well, because even if you and that person don't, you know, click, maybe you and the other person could, or sorry, you and someone in the group could possibly hit it off. So I think it's really cool, like meet their well and vice versa, because you never know. It's like you and that person might not hit it off after all, but there might be someone in their group that you really get along with. So that's what's kind of awesome about Spooky is, and I'm sure somebody knows somebody in that group because everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows everybody.
It's a small Spooky, that's for sure.
So meeting their friends is important too. Like if they're like, hey, come hang out with my friends, or we're over in this corner, like come hang out with us, like that. I always thought that was kind of a cool thing too.
Yeah.
Also for safety reasons, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
And unless there's like the drunk guy that's trying to pass his drunk friend off on you, which we've had happen. That was very interesting. Yeah. And another tip that you know, Laura actually reminded me of that was actually really smart is that when you actually you know, say at the pool party or whatever, you happen to see them next day and they remember something from the conversation that you had the night before. So important. Talking about you know, Richard Dreyfuss and Jaws or whatever, and how he played this character and how it reminded us of so and so. If they bring up something about that the next day and continue the conversation, it's like, oh wow, they're actually paying attention to what I'm saying and not just staring at my lips.
Yeah, that's a good tip for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for life in general, guys.
For life, but I mean, well, there's a perfect example, and I have no shame in this. There is a guy at Spooky. His name's Chris, and I have had a big crush on him for years because he came. We're at the pool party, and I was introverting, and I was sitting on a chair, and I was just people watching. If he sat down next to me, and I was like, no, that's fine. And somehow we started talking about Booberry. I don't know how it happened, but we were talking about different archetypes, and the next day, he came up to me and he's like, you know what? You got pajamas in your room? And I said, yeah. Let's go out to the pool. I got some Booberry. Let's just sit in our pajamas and eat Booberry while we people watch. And I'm like,
I would have
I love you. Yeah. I was like, I'm crushing on you. It was amazing.
Can we have a Booberry
stuff like that?
Can we have a meetup like Friday night or something? Like, can we do this?
If we can get a hold of like Booberry or something, sure. Yeah, and so guys, just so you know, we can be bribed with Monster cereal.
Yes.
Oh, yummy mummy. We can be bribed with Monster cereal.
I like this.
Just putting that out there.
Yep. Yeah, like the friend planning to meet later is I think that's kind of like that shows you that you're somebody that they want to see again, that you're somebody special. It's not like, you know, if I meet somebody
I just want to bring you to your room and bang you. Yeah.
Or even like if they, you know, if you're not interested, it's like, well, why continue the conversation later? It's like, but if there's something interesting there, it's like, well, where will I see you again? You don't even have to exchange numbers necessarily. It's like, it's Spooky Empire and you'll see them again and you can.
These are gold secrets, you guys. These are trade secrets. I really hope you guys are writing this stuff down, man.
Experts.
Well, we've seen the drunken guys at the pool, and we've seen the guys that are just like, because nowadays, you know, especially with the Tinder thing, and no one really knows how to communicate anymore, you know, and they just come up and it's just like, hey, are you DTF?
It's like, what the fuck is that?
Like, oh, you want to fuck? Just, what? You don't know how to talk to people like humans anymore, and we're humans, and we've seen way too many creepers that are at Spooky that are just a little forward and they make us feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah.
It sucks too because like it might be their first time and like they're just coming in.
A black bag right at the bottom, or a white bag, and it has the Brute Squad stuff in there. Space Monkey, go grab something, because this is a good segue for, and we talked about this before. There's the Spooky Empire Brute Squad. There's about half a dozen really big guys, and I'm trying to get, because we have some of the armbands in the closet. If you women ever feel uncomfortable around anyone and security isn't around, they're not going to cause a scene. These guys are professionals. I'm waiting for him to come out. Get it? Of course, leave it to a man to do a woman's job, right?
Is Robbie meditating?
That's me.
It's right at the bottom of the beginning of the closet. But you've seen it on other podcasts. It's an armband. It's a Spooky Empire Brute Squad in the same way that it's a Suicide Squad, but it's Spooky Empire Brute Squad. You see these guys, all you have to do is just, you know, go up and just kind of give them a look, and they'll be able to, whether it's walk you to your room or give you an excuse to get away from someone who's making you feel uncomfortable, you know, walk you to your car. Absolutely trustworthy. And unfortunately, we do have some unsavories at Spooky, and we have some drunk, and their judgment isn't necessarily the greatest. So
Yeah.
please, ladies, stay safe and keep an eye out for the Spooky Empire. Bruce, what?
I was gonna say too, like even
Find them?
I was gonna say, if you're not being affected and you see someone else being affected, like speak up. You know, 'cause sometimes women are some of my best friends are very passive and they're very nice, and it's like sometimes you got to step in and help them out too. So if you see someone
You guys
else,
take this for a second. I'm gonna go get those. Hang on a second.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
Laura. That's a good point. You gotta watch out for each other.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, because I'm some of my friends, and so I feel like we kind of have to be on the lookout for them too, you know. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's definitely, especially around the pool parties. I mean, because you know, especially like Saturday night, there are gonna be hundreds of people around that pool, and
all of them drinking.
yeah, and all of them drinking, and yeah, oftentimes I have seen officers out there, but they're not all. They can't be everywhere all at once, and so
and they're not in tune to what's going on. They're looking for like the blatantly.
They're there to
obvious-
arrest people. They're not. They're
Right.
yeah. They're not there to.
right. So you know, if you're being harassed by someone, or if you're being, you know, if someone is getting a little too close for comfort, and you know, you see one of these guys with the band, yep, they're
Just look for this.
and they'll help you out.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Definitely.
I love it.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and they're absolutely sweet. As a matter of fact, I had a couple of guys help me out with a difficult situation in December. Someone was a little too imposing, got a little too in my personal space, so I excused myself and just basically aligned myself with Brute Squad to feel a little safer.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
okay.
I wish more cons did.
Do what?
I wish more conventions did that. I haven't heard of that for anybody else.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because this con is getting bigger and bigger, and because we're getting casuals and mundanes,
Mm-hmm.
this stuff becomes necessary. I hate to say it.
Casuals and mundanes.
Am I wrong? I mean, we get the dude bros and the woo girls and the.
That's very true, and we do get the occasional wedding and bonsai convention. So.
Yeah. Or the Lamborghini conventions.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That was awesome. I remember that.
The Hilton. Yep, that was something.
They spelled out Lotus something out in the yard, and I was just like,
It was the Lotus. That's
Yeah,
right.
that was awesome.
yeah,
That's the same year they had the children that had that blood disease convention at the same
Like
time.
a nosebleed disease or something like that.
It was something weird, but
What?
yeah.
that was at the Hilton.
Blood on the floor. Is it real or is it fake?
Who says it?
Yeah.
Where?
It's like, don't touch it.
Just in case.
God.
Oh yeah, it's chocolate
The
syrup.
last thing I wanted to pick up on was photography, because unfortunately this is something that is a bit of a growing trend at Spooky, and because it's inviting a lot of the cosplay models and a lot of the professional cosplayers, a lot of people mistakenly think that Spooky is the same as every other convention out there. Now, while it's primarily a horror con, their repertoire to make it retro, make it more family friendly, to make it more all-inclusive of the pop culture. I mean, you've got C. Thomas Howell and you know, Ralph Macchio that have been added to the roster.
Mhm.
So it's more inclusive. But unfortunately, with that comes all the pitfalls of the modern cosplay mainstream community. And with that, since we get all the sexy cosplayers and we got all the Harley Quinns and whatnot, the photographers.
No.
The majority of the photographers at Spooky are all very, very cool, and you know they're all there for the same reasons that we are, and that's all great. So if you are a photographer and you're coming to Spooky, support the show.
Say it
Be
again.
there
Say
to-
it again.
Be there to support the show, to support the vendors, be there to support the local artists. Don't just be there to have another notch and on your belt and to network for your whatever your business is. You know, you shoot the sexy cosplayers and sex that all up, fine. But that's not what this convention is about.
No.
If that's what you want to do, that's fine. You can set up shoots. You can hand out business cards. You know, if you want to set up shoots where you're going to require payment for these photo shoots, get a vendor space like everybody else. Because frankly, and I'm sure I'm not speaking for myself here.
No, that's the part that gets me is like, I know, like my friends are so hard to take money to do this convention and do it right, and just, you know, for people that don't want to do it right, it just gets under my skin. So yeah.
Just make sure to line them up by the side of the pool so we can push them in.
With the equipment.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No chill.
No.
You want to make your money by shooting young girls' asses and little sexy little outfits. You know what? Vaya con Dios. If that works for you, seriously, by all means. About it. Don't use Spooky's logo to plaster a bunch of chicks' asses because this is a family-friendly show and you didn't get permission to use the logo. You know, publicize
and people are getting the wrong idea. Like if it's someone's first time and they see that, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is one of those." It's like, no. That's not what we've.
One is
everyone's worked so hard to get it where it is, and I think it's fantastic. And that's just putting the wrong image out there. You might see that, like you said, but be discreet and make that's not what it's about. So yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't sure if that was gonna get brought up, but I'm glad it did.
Oh no, I wanted to bring it up just because I don't want people to think that Spooky is that kind of convention. I mean, they've been trying so hard to make everything family friendly, regardless of the fact of whether it is or not. Any adult activities that go on aren't necessarily sanctioned by Spooky. And if you want to do shoots in your room or whatever and be discreet and hand out your business card, or if you want to get
done that, it happens.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, get a vendor space just like every other vendor there. You're not getting a vendor space and you're doing this, you know, you get your free pass or whatever for the con. You're stealing from Spooky, you know, and you're there to be greedy and you're not there for the convention. And those of us that have kind of been to the con for a long time, an offense to that.
Yes, we do.
You're not going to get any genuine fans or followers out of it either, because I'd say the majority of people that go appreciate what it is. They're not going for that. They're not going to support it. It's just, you're not going to gain much from it at all, if anything. So why waste your time?
Take it to MegaCon, take it to any of these little anime cons, you know, whatever. Take it to these little fashion shows, the wet t-shirt contests. By all means, it's not a matter of like the subject of what you're shooting.
Yeah, I think that just using the Spooky logo in general is just a bad idea. Just, you know, because I mean, in the past we've had several photographers that, you know, I've been around the hotel. I've seen photographers shooting, you know, sexy photo shoots with chicks in costumes, but you never see them kind of advertising, hey, I'm shooting for Spooky Empire. You know what I mean? Like there's only certain photographers that work for Spooky Empire, and they take photographs for that. And they don't have access plastered all over it. So
yeah,
we're all associated with it, and we want to be proud of it. And it's like if you start associating with that, it's like it just ruins it for everybody. It's not fun.
True.
I see a look on Harriet's face there, like she just wants to push somebody in the pool.
I do. Well,
on the pool.
It irritated the hell out of me when I saw that come up, and I knew, first of all, I just thought it kind of cheapens the Spooky image, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And I, you know, and they were all at that picture, and they're all lined up by the pool. I said, God, if somebody did that, I would just want to push them in the pool. It's really irritating for me because, you know, and a lot of us have been going a long time. I've been going to the show since 2005. And, you know, the people I've met and the friends that I've made are lifetime friends that I plan to keep. And, you know, but just seeing that, it's like, oh, you know, come see some girl with her ass hanging out. And, you know, and watch me take pictures and blah, 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 blah.
And they're not even horror costumes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
They weren't in a costume. They were just in some lingerie or whatever. And I was like, that's not, you know, you can go online for that. You can go to Tinder for that. You can go to, you know, what another convention for that. This is not that.
Like every weekend in Orlando, like that doesn't need to invade weekends we get out of the whole freaking year. You know, it's like you can, yeah, you can do
that is. That's kind of our protective safe space. And so that's where all this like vitriol and is coming from.
Yeah, and you know, it may seem ironic because yeah, it's a horror convention, but people bring their kids, you know, and like Demi said, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I have an issue with that. If I see that out there and people are bringing their kids out, you know, whether it be by the pool or in a different location, but at spooky, I'm gonna be offended by that because if it were my kid, I wouldn't want my kid to be, you know, open to that and see that, and when I'm just trying to take them to the convention and have a good time, you know. And it's not a sex show, it's not a sex club, you know, it's not your bedroom, you know. So
you know, I gotta say,
so many people put so much pride into their costumes, and like you said earlier, like putting money into the vending, and it's just like I mean, I'm just repeating it, I guess, but yeah, it just cheapens it. It's just that's it.
Yeah.
We all take pride. We take pride in it. Like if I have my art there or something, it's like I'm doing this at the Empire. It's like I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this at this, like, you know, ButtCon 2000. Like
ButtCon.
Hey guys.
Well, if those come out, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to be periscoping every single one of the asses and just spanking every single one of them on Periscope. You know that, right?
And then I'll push them in the pool.
Well, here's the ironic thing that we're talking about this, because we all talk about, you know, there's a family-friendly show, and you know, my son included. My son is 10. He's about to hit puberty. That's not what I really want to. It's funny because we expose our kids to, you know, guts and zombies and violence and, you know, and like eyes hanging out and, you know, these Jason and Michael Myers. And it's funny that we expose them to this. And I mean, granted, I understand why, but it's just kind of funny, you know. I mean, I see how someone could misconstrue. It's like, oh, well, you can let them see guts, but you can't let them see somebody's butt. And it's
well,
like,
guts aren't getting you pregnant.
Yeah, but, I mean, the way that's presented.
Guts?
Yeah.
Pregnant, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. But the way
also, though, I mean,
the way that's presented and the fact that they use the spooky logo really irritated me to no end. So
yes, that was my issue. That was my issue more than anything else, because I know a lot of people misunderstood. They saw that and they assumed that this was something that was spooky sanctioned and you know, had to do with spooky, which it is not. Aware of this, they were not happy with the use of their logo. They don't condone this sort of thing. So I don't know if something's happening on Spooky's end. They're aware of it, so we'll just see what happens. All right.
With the whole like guts thing or whatever, and the blood and guts or whatever, the thing is like wrong, but that's part of the genre. Like it's a horror convention. Blood and guts are horror. Like lingerie isn't. I mean, it can be in some movies or whatever, but like that's not the genre.
Yeah, they have the fetish ball for that.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, they do.
They have
Fetish ball.
right.
That's what like you as a parent too, like you're choosing to take your kid to a horror con. It's like, you know, they're going to be exposed to blood and guts. They don't need to get like, you know, vaginas in their face. Like it's a little
or
different.
like, and that's right. And I'm gonna paint the target on my back, but the chicks that have their boobs out to here with just electric tape on it at the pool at 2 a.m., man, I don't need to see my 10-year-old with, you know, boobs bigger than his head with just nipple tape on them.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's 9 in the morning. Yeah.
Actually, there I can curse on here, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay.
This is not a
don't know,
family-friendly
so-
show. We are not politically correct. By all means, let loose.
We were like, here's a good example though. Like, I was gonna do the "Everybody Fucking in a UFO" by Rob Zombie. You know, I don't know if you've seen that video, but the alien, he has this like big floppy silver penis, and so I even said though, I was like, you know what, we should buy like the little strap-on ones so you can be like the regular alien during the day, and then for the pool party whatever, bust it out. Like, because like, yeah, I don't want to like flop a fucking alien penis around kids. Like, that's like their height too.
Yeah.
Well, I remember specifically before I even met Laura, I remember I saw her at the pool party. I think it's the first time I met her actually, where she had this big long muff at the pool.
Oh, the merkin.
Yeah. And it was like 2-3 years ago, but long muff, and she was having a grand old time with it. But yeah, this was also at 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, if you have your kids at 1 o'clock in the morning, you got a problem.
Right. Yes.
You need to clarify the
Amazing. It was glorious, and that's why I fell in love with her.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, I think I was like, I
any
took one of my
chick
friends.
that's running around with a real long the muff, that would, yeah, I'm sold.
It was my friend's wig, my wig, and I put it in.
You're Merkin. That's right. You're
Merkin.
Yeah, whipping it around. But yeah, I wouldn't do that like in the middle of the convention day with kids.
Yeah. Okay, I think we've gone over everything. Let's see. We have talked about back and canceling. We have talked about the whole Tim Curry situation. Robert England charging $160 to $180 for a photo and autograph at Monsterpalooza, and what a clusterfuck that was. Let's see. Star Wars Celebration and how we're looking forward to just eating popcorn and watching that mess. Yep. Oh, actually, Laura, you're familiar with Ravens and Rockers, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want to
Yes.
hear your opinion because we were bringing up a couple of the vendors. There was 13X Studios that is doing the custom hockey masks, which is really cool. And I saw pictures tonight. He's got some really, really wild ones. Ravens and Rockers. I mean, we're geeking out over Ravens and Rockers.
They're amazing. I mean,
That you're looking forward to getting.
I haven't, I'll be so totally honest, I don't know what any of the new inventory is. So basing it on like when they first opened until like maybe even last year, I love everything they've come up with. I mean, they're always on top of their game with like ordering the newest, coolest stuff that's out there. So I mean, I'm always looking forward to like them keeping up with the times for me, if that makes sense. Like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're so in it. Like like if I wanted to get something new, I know I could just go there and be like, what do they have? Let's see, and I can just browse and find something cool. So yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about them. I love their stuff.
I can't wait. I've already told people I'm gonna fight them, when I get there, because it's like that goth parasol. I'm all about that.
They don't bring a lot of them, so you have to, seriously, if you're gonna get one, you should probably get one early. Because
That's one of the first things I'm gonna do, because I know they're gonna, yeah.
Yeah, the last time they sold out, so.
Yeah, of course they did, assholes. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much fine. Like they're on top of the game.
Okay. And then let's see, there was the schedule. We talked about Pillowlando. The film festival's not happening this time around. We talked about the tattoo festival, the photo ops, Ralph Macchio and C. Thomas Howell. I wanted to bring it up just one more time. Oh, actually, no. Before we do, Robbie, you want to talk about surreal makeup?
Oh yeah, surreal makeup. Well, if you guys have ever been or not been, if you're looking for something sparkly and amazing, surreal makeup, they make their stuff by hand, and it's a majority pigments. What?
I'm all about sparkly.
Oh yeah, sparkly. Oh my gosh. And it's just the kind of stuff that pictures definitely don't do it justice. When you go onto their website, check out their videos, because she makes a lot of videos where you can see a lot of iridescent and glitter galore. And in every shade, they have blues, purples, blacks, I mean, just whatever you can picture. And they started making lip glosses, which is really cool. So,
Ooh,
yes, definitely
nice.
surreal makeup if you want to add some sparkle to everything.
Everything. Glitter bombs.
Everything.
Yes.
I think that means her boobs.
Spooky. Glitter bombs. Okay, I also wanted to remind people just one more time, the Spooky Empire ticket exchange group, like I said, there are very few tickets left, but if you want tickets and you haven't bought them yet and you want them at a discount and you want to help someone recoup their losses because they aren't able to make the con, got about 5 or 6 admins that are like keeping track of everything. Spooky Empire ticket exchange, make sure you get your tickets there. And there was the one more thing. Oh, little inside info, a little bit of a rumor. If you were interested in pulling a nice little prank at Spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. we're troublemakers. To say who suggested this to me, but it was suggested. Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder, as we all know, is a Spooky regular. Wonderful, incredibly sweet guy. Let's go up to him all weekend, and this is for the viewers as well. If a bunch of us go up to him all weekend, Kane, I loved you in all the Halloween movies. He will lose his mind.
If you want to get choked, this is the
random time. And you know what? You just go up to Kane Hodder and just say, Kane, I loved you in all the Halloween movies.
That poor guy. That poor guy.
He's amazing.
Poor guy, nothing. He's gonna kill us. Versus Bambi, and just, you know, that's it. But you know what? The way I figured, that's an epic way for me to go. Give me a Viking funeral in the middle of the Wyndham pool, and
oh my God, that would be amazing.
So yeah, he's gonna kill me, but I know I'm participating. Okay. So if there's a half a dozen of us that just go up to Kane throughout the weekend, he'll realize he's being punked after the 3rd or 4th person. But I'm joke to play on Kane.
I dig it.
So let's see how brave some of you viewers are.
That's another thing. Yeah, you gotta have those balls out.
Yeah, no, and I'm at the point in my life where I just don't give a fuck. I love Kane, and it's no offense against Kane because I adore him. He's a wonderful guy. When someone suggested it to me, I lost my mind. Okay. All right, we have been at this, oh wow, over an hour and a half. So I knew this was going to be a long one. But unless there was anything else that you guys wanted to address.
Is this our last one before?
Yes, this is the last one before Spooky. Yeah. So if you guys have any last minute tips or last minute things that you want to impart on people, you know.
Wow.
Do it now.
Yeah. Speak now or forever hold your peace. I mean, we're going to be doing one probably Sunday at the end of the con after we're all. So we're going to get together and do one live from the con and then the post-con wrap up. But yeah, this is the last one before Spooky Retro.
So make sure you watch also, you know, when September, October, when we're leading into the later half of the year. Also, Make sure you tune in for that. Yeah. Yeah,
because we're going to have a lot of info for that too. Okay. All right. On that note, I think we need our outro. Anything from the Peanut Gallery that we need to bring up?
Not.
So we're bringing in our Ed McMahon to give us a lovely serenade as our outro. First, I just want to thank my co-host this evening. I want to thank Harriet and her 28 Days Later amazing poster.
Yay!
And Robbie with her gorgeous bat necklace there. I'm gonna steal.
Ravens and Rockers, guys.
Yeah, Ravens and Rockers, and our beautiful addition, Laura.
Yay!
I'm sorry I was late. Thank you guys.
That's okay. As long as you're late and not pregnant, we're good.
I'm gonna write that down for my 15-year-old.
Some veg. Okay. All right. So here is our outro. Okay. All right.
This is the end of the show. Next time there will be penises.
And that is our show. Good night, everybody.